So here we have me putting my deadlift suit on. This is how I like to do it, and I feel it might be helpful for some people. So the first thing is the layers that I wear underneath. I like to put a pair of neoprene shorts on. I'm wearing the Cerberus ones here, and I've got them folded up a little bit just to provide a little bit more compression, but also the length of them. I don't like um, the leg of the shorts scooching out underneath the leg of the suit. So I roll them up a little bit just to keep them out of the way from sliding out underneath the legs of the suit. And it just provides a little bit more compression and fills out the circumference of the thigh in the suit for me personally. And then I can just scooch the suit up. I wriggle into it, sort of clenching the glutes and wriggling in to try and jig my hips down and into the suit as I pull it up. I use the shoulder strap set pretty loose just so I can flick them up onto my shoulders and shrug the suit up as I sit down into it and wriggling about into it and sort of just wedging myself in. And then once I've got that into a reasonable position, I then go around tucking my t-shirt in or whatever top I've got on in the cooler weather. I have had a sports jumper on, and I can tuck that in and it all sits fine. And then I just have another reposition with the shoulder straps to try and wriggle the suit up a little bit more. Now I'm shortening the straps a little bit here, and what I like to do is I like to get up on my tiptoes on the left leg there and pull the left strap over and sort of try and get my left shoulder down closer to my left hip, so sort of doing like a little bit of a side crunch, and then I will exhale as well just to kind of deflate the abdomen and sort of get a bit of air out of the lungs as well, just to let the rib cage drop so I can pull down tighter onto those straps. And I do the same for the right hand side. And then I have a little sit down into the suit, see how it's feeling, and then I pop the straps off again, completely undoing them. I always have a reset, even between sets. If I was doing multiple sets, I would take the suit off, or not take the full suit off, but take the straps off and reset them, unless it's a very quick turnaround and I'm happy with the position and everything. So then I go again, up on the tiptoes of the left leg, crunching the shoulder down towards the hip and getting the straps up and over, or pulling the back strap over and then the front strap in, and exhaling as I pull that front strap up and Velcro on, and I do the same on the right hand side. I really find the exhale really helps. It just sort of helps me sort of scooch down another inch or so into the suit, and it just takes a little bit more loose out of it, which I find really, really helpful, especially when setting up by myself. From there, I'm going to apply my underbelt. Now, it's not a compulsory piece of kit to wear. Some folk wear, 2 belts, 1 belt, some folk wear no belts. So just wear what you feel comfortable with. And for me, that's the underbelt. I know my positions. I like to wear them a little bit, the belt's a little bit higher when I'm deadlifting and squatting. It just allows me a bit more clear space in and around the hip crease to hit the hinge position when deadlifting, and getting into the hole when I'm squatting. It allows me just that little bit more depth with the belt being sat that little bit higher. So I've got my underbelt on. I know my tension that I like. I know my position. So I'll get the belt on. I put the lever belt on over the top, and then tighten that down. Now it's on pretty tight that when I do finish lifting, I do have to release the belt. And then just before I start putting my straps on, one of the final things that I do is I do like to pull the straps, just the straps of the suit, in towards the center a little bit. Now I've not pulled them in massively, but it just again tightens them in against the belt. Then I get my straps on and I approach the bar, a little bit of a wide stance just to accommodate the tension in the suit, allowing me to get to the bar. Then I strap in and I'm controlling my breathing here, a little bit of nasal breathing. I'm not doing big panic breaths. Nice and controlled breathing, wiggling my feet in until I'm into my deadlift stance position. Then I catch my breath, squeeze in and drive into the ground and pull the bar from the floor, and then return it back to the ground once the rep is complete.